3 hanging lights with on and off switches, a control center that plays music, up to 14-hour runtime with just a 6-hour charge directly from our sun. This is the BioLite Solar Home 620 Plus, and today I'm doing an unboxing and giving my initial review on this solar powered light. I'm Rob with Wicked Prepared. Let's do it! I had to really restrain myself from opening this up and getting it set up right away until I had time to shoot a video about it. But I did want to do an unboxing video just to show you guys what's in the box and what it's like setting it up and how it works right out of the box. We've been wicked busy the last week or so. We took a few days to take some day trips and show the kids what Maine and New Hampshire have to offer, doing some things outside. Even though it's been pretty rainy, we did manage to get some activities in. I'm just going to throw a few pictures up here just to show you what we've been up to here at Wicked Prepared. We took one day and went to the Living Shores Aquarium in Glen, New Hampshire, and then stopped and played mini golf at Pirates Cove in North Conway on the way back through. And then we took another day, took a little bit longer trip to Lincoln, New Hampshire, and that's where the Flume Gorge is, and this is a really cool place to visit. I went there as a real young kid, and I still remember it. It was really cool, and I'm sure these kids will remember it for years to come. And then we also took a day to go to the desert of Maine, which is a pretty neat spectacle here in our state. You don't see this everywhere, especially not in New England. And if you get a chance, check that out. If anybody wants to see any more about these places or has any questions, just drop us a comment down below. We'd be happy to talk about it and give you all the details of the places. So along with being prepared or wicked prepared for storms or any kind of power outage, honestly the biggest reason we wanted to get this was every summer we take a camping trip up to Baxter State Park here in Maine. It's the whole family, a huge group of people. And this campground is definitely roughing it. There's no electricity, no running water, very few people. You are on a lake, but with no electricity, it does get, as you can imagine, pretty dark at night. So about the time that we're trying to get dinner ready and get the kids fed, it's starting to get dark, the sun's going down, so we resort to using flashlights or just the light from the campfire. You know, even last year we had some lights, some rechargeable lights, but then you end up having to plug them into your car, let your car run, and charge up your lights, so it's a little inefficient. That's why we figure with this solar light, it'll charge all day, then at night we can turn the lights on, get dinner prepared, get everybody to bed, get everything squared away, shut the lights off, and start up again the next day. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get it opened up and see what we got inside. First off, I really like the box. This is one of those boxes that as an adult you search for boxes you want to save versus those you want to throw away, and this one's got a little handle on it, so probably gonna save the box after, so that's a plus. Okay, so this is the control center here. It's got a light in it, also a radio, and this is the antenna, it looks like, out the back. You can hang it up, and it also has some USB charge ports on the side. And I also think you can use it sort of like an MP3 player and kind of upload your own songs to it, play music. It's probably not something we'll use much, especially camping. They kind of like to keep it quiet at that campground, but would come in handy, even if we use this here in the backyard. Sometimes the kids like to go down in the backyard and hang out at night around the fire. This would come in handy for something like that, or tenting out in the backyard, same thing. So, or obviously some campgrounds don't mind if you're playing music, so this would work out perfect for that. So that's our control center. You got instructions. Go ahead and toss those. Just kidding. like a bunch of hardware and whatnot. This would be the key to the whole setup, the solar panel. And obviously the whole reason behind it, the lights. This is riveting video, isn't it? So as you can see, there's 3 of these lights that hang, and each one has an on and off switch that hangs down from where the light is. That really impressed me about this, because then you're not getting everybody into bed, you get into bed yourself, and then you gotta climb over and find the light and shut it off and then find your way back to where you're sleeping. I'm hoping with this I can hang it in our lean-to in a way that the switch is kind of right next to us, right over our head. We can just hit it and lights out, everybody goes to bed. Middle of the night, somebody's got to get up, got to use the bathroom, got to see if there's a bear crawling around out there, and you just reach up, hit the switch, and the light will come on. It's going to be really handy, I think, for that. And obviously a lot of other situations, but that just happens to be the main reason why we wanted to get something like this. Obviously, in an event of an emergency or a bad storm, anything like that, we lose power all the time here in Maine. So hang up a few of these inside, and it's kind of like the power never went out. Just hang this out in the sun, 6 hours of full sun, it's completely charged. And from what the specifications say, these will run up to 14 hours, depending on how bright they're set at, how many you've got going on, and a lot of other variables. But so it gives you a diagram here in the instructions. Obviously you can situate them however you want, but one of the cool things is each light plugs into the next light. So I don't know how well that shows up on the camera, but that's the port where you would plug in the next light in the series, and they're all connected together, and that really extends out the area that you can cover with these lights. That's why I'm thinking when we go camping, and we'll do some videos while we're camping and show these in use, but it's hard to describe how the campsite's set up. But we have our lean-to kind of on one side of the site, and in between we have our, seating area with a picnic table, and we have a canopy over that, and then usually on the other side of that is your fireplace. Probably have one in our lean-to, one over our cooking and prep area, and then one over our picnic table where everybody actually sits down and eats. Looks like plenty of cable there to do all that, and then still enough cord to go from the solar panel to the control center, which I'll have the solar panel right on top of the roof of the lean-to. I think will be the best place. So now that I get it all unboxed, next thing I'm going to do is take this solar panel out, stick it outside, and let it get charged up. Nice and sunny today, so I'll leave it out there a little while and see how it goes, and then we'll come back, plug everything in, and see how it works. The only thing the instructions really mention about where to place the solar panel is to make sure that it's not on a flat surface like a roof, flat roof. I imagine it will collect water in there. They show a diagram of it just at a little bit of an angle. That way it's fine if it gets rained on. In fact, it says it'll help clean off any dust. But I imagine you just don't want water sitting on this, and it'd be better to have an angle and have the water running off. So I'll go ahead and find a place outside with some sunshine, and we'll get this puppy charged up. So what I did to just get started here is brought my solar panel out on the back deck of the workshop here, and it's still getting pretty full sun right now. I can move it later if I have to, but just plug the solar panel into the back of the control center. That's where the battery is, so it has to be plugged in order to charge this up, and then we can plug in the lights and see how everything works. Now as soon as I plug the solar panel into the control center, the display came right up, and it's asking for a language there. So I'm assuming this is some sort of a first time setup mode, and I'll see if we can go through and just get this set up. Gives the time and the date, and it actually gives the battery percentage, and it looks like this comes with some charge already in it, which I was wondering. I actually didn't plug the light in to see, and it didn't come on immediately, so I'm assuming the solar panel has to be plugged into the control center in order for it to come on, which is a good thing to remember. So, with that being said, has 66% charge in it, and here comes my friend, and if she knocks the solar panel down, it's not going to be pretty. She loves to help. Okay, so with 66% charge in it, I guess we can go ahead and plug things in and see how it works. I can also turn the light on. The lights come on. It's pretty bright out here, so it's hard to see that they're working, but they are working. So I'm going to bring this back inside in the workshop, and we'll plug everything in, test it out, make sure it works, and then I'll bring it back out maybe tomorrow and hook the solar panel up, get this fully charged, and then it'll be ready to go. So that is pretty cool to find out that they ship this with a charge already in it, so you can actually get it all set up and try it out right away without having to wait that 6 hours for the solar panel to charge. I'm pretty excited about that, and it also makes making this video for you guys a lot easier and quicker. I can just get it done, over with, and get the video out to you guys, and you can see what you think. So we've got our control center plugged in there in the back to the solar panel. See, there's a big coil of wire there. I'm not sure how long it is. I know it does say in the specs, but that's a pretty good amount of wire to run that a good distance, because the key to remember is that this needs to be obviously outside in the sun, full sun. This is best to keep under cover. So that's why I'm planning to put it in our lean-to at Baxter. You don't necessarily want this outside, especially obviously if it's going to rain. It's not really that dark in here, but to show you, this button turns on at increasing brightness levels the light on the control center, which is going to be super handy inside of our lean-to. And then what I'll do is take one of these lights to get started, and you see there's 2 ports in the back here. We'll plug into one and hit the switch. It's like a spring-loaded rocker switch. So 3 brightness levels on this light, just the same as the control center light. I am super excited to use this, and I'm thinking I might go ahead and hang at least one of these here in the workshop, shut all the other lights off, and then I can just turn these on and see how they work in the dark, and show you it hanging from ceiling height with the switch hanging down. Then I can get an idea of how long the cables are, so I can kind of plan out in my head how I'm going to get everything set up at our campsite. But just to show you here on the bench, what you would do is take your second light that's identical to this light, and you plug it in here to connect these 2 lights, connects the power together, but you can control them independently with their own switches. Pretty cool. Then this third light, and it's actually something I didn't learn until I just read the instructions, imagine that, but this light has a motion sensor in it, and you can see it's a little bit different than these other 2 lights. So it has a motion sensor built into the light. It also has a switch, so I'm going to plug it in and see how that works. We'll plug that into the second port on the control center. And again, these work independently, so you can have one on, you can turn both of them on, turn the third one on, and shut them off independently, which is very handy. So now, see how the motion sensor works. The light's on right now. I'm going to try to stand very still and see how long it takes to go out, and then I'll move and it should trigger the light to come back on, and then we'll see about how long that takes. So everybody just stand very still. Okay, so it went off. Kind of scared to move. So there we go. I feel like it stayed on about maybe a minute, 30 seconds. I don't know. I'm not real good with judging time. Then, of course, like I said, the control center also plays music. So we'll see how that works here.
Across the Shaw's and Star Market, WEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Oh yeah, that comes in really well. And that's just with the antenna in my hand.
Star Market WEI Red Sox Radio Network. Get ready. Your Boston Red Sox are coming up next on the Shaw's and Star Market WEI Red Sox.
Yep, that works excellent. That'd come in super handy if you're out in the middle of nowhere. Still get radio signal, but you don't happen to have a radio, because who has a radio with them anymore? When you got this solar powered control center with a built-in radio, you can get weather reports, traffic reports, or just listen to some music. Or the Red Sox. Go Sox! And also on this control center, it's got these two USB ports right in the side for charging. It also comes with this adapter with different plugs on the end. It plugs into the USB, so you can charge various different devices. And then again, I was reading in the instructions, this port here, they call it a battery expansion port. From the sounds of it, it would be plugging a cable into this with an external battery to increase the battery life that the solar panel charges up. So I'll have to look on the website to find out more about that. And then it also has this SD card slot, and that's where you would put songs on your SD card, plug it in there, and then operate this like an MP3 player. So if you're going somewhere, you want to listen to music, you knew you probably wouldn't have radio signal, you can upload your songs kind of the old school way, like an MP3 player, play them right through the speaker. Sounds pretty good. Nothing too fancy, but definitely would be better than nothing. So I went ahead and just strung these lights up very temporarily here in the workshop. Shut all the other lights off. It's still daytime, so it's still a little bit light, but definitely not bright enough that I'd want to be preparing food or getting kids to bed, something like that. Before I hung them up, I just took a tape measure and measured. There's about 14 or 15 feet of cable between the control center and the light. So obviously you need to have some wire to go up from where your control center is mounted to ceiling or whatever is above it. But you have to have cable to go up and then over, and then the light just hangs from the cable itself. Shut all the lights off here in the workshop. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn this one on. I also measured the length. This is the switch here. Get a little light on the subject. You can see that's pretty bright. That's on the lowest setting there. So each time you push the rocker switch, it gets one level brighter. It has 3 levels, and then you push it again and it'll be off. But I did discover something with the motion sensor light, which this one is, that you can tell it has this funny looking thing right here in the middle. That's the motion sensor. You can turn it on and not use the motion sensor. So if I turn it there onto its lowest setting, it'll just stay on. it doesn't get activated by motion. It has 3 levels of brightness, just like the other lights. When you hit the switch the 4th time, notice the brightness doesn't change. Now it's hooked up to the motion sensor. So it'll stay on for 30 seconds. So we'll go ahead and give it 30 seconds. It has shut down. And I'll just wave my hand under and you see it comes back on. So I can see this coming in handy probably above where we sleep. That way, because we can just keep it on. If there's any motion, somebody's getting up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, not sure where the switch is, or can't reach the switch, the light will just come on automatically as soon as somebody starts to move around. And it seems like it has a pretty good range that it detects motion. So even if somebody's way out here, it still detects the motion. Light comes on in 30 seconds. You know, you get up, get out of bed, or get out of your sleeping bag, do whatever you gotta do. Come back, the light will come back on, and you can get into bed. Or the motion light comes on, detects motion. You got 30 seconds to find the switch, which will be hanging above us, probably right in the middle of where we sleep. And then you find the switch, hit the button a couple times. Now the light's going to stay on. It's not going to shut off even if there's no motion. And also on this switch, that red light comes on when it's being activated by the motion sensor. Then I've got a second light hung up here behind me. So what I'll do is go ahead and obviously these switches would be hanging from the ceiling or whatever structure is above you. It's about a 6-foot cable from the power cable. So it'll hang down at least 6 feet. Obviously, it doesn't have to be that far if you want to tie it up out of the way. But hit the switch, 1, 2, 3. That's the brightest it'll go. And then I'll do the same with this one, 2, 3. And with that picked up above me, you can see it's pretty much as bright in here as it was with the 4 fluorescent lights that I have in the workshop. So it's pretty impressive. Looking here on my bench, you can see it lights it up perfectly. This is gonna work awesome for at our campsite when we've got our folding table set up where we get hamburgers prepared, get drinks poured, things like that on our work surface. Probably even have it close enough so it'll light up the cook stove that we have there or the grill. It's gonna be so much easier than trying to hold a flashlight. The other person's cooking, kids are screaming, everybody's hungry. It just never goes well. So this is definitely gonna help. So this is our third light here. I didn't plug this one in right now to try it, but then obviously, like I said, this has a light on it too. So we can actually have this in one end of the lean-to, one of these hanging lights in the other end of the lean-to, one light over the picnic table under the canopy, and then the third light right over our prep surface and our grill and our stove, the whole setup. I can already see it in my mind. I know it's kind of hard to describe to you guys, but we'll be doing some videos when we're up camping, and I'll have all these lights set up and show you how I have the setup there. And obviously yours is going to be different. I know not everybody has the same situation when you go camping, but usually you have similar setups where people have pop-up canopies, or maybe you have an awning on your camper, or maybe if you use a tent, you could hang one of these right inside the tent. They're LED, so they stay cool. You don't have to worry about them getting too hot or any kind of fire hazard like that. As long as that solar panel is in full sun, plugged into the control center, you've got 4 lights and a radio or an MP3 player and a place to charge your phone, all just powered by the sun. Another neat feature with these lights, each one has a little plastic hook on it. And what you can do is hook it to the light itself, and then you end up with a light that's hanging, but it's at an angle. So that way, if you can't get the light centered right over your table or grill or whatnot, you can hook this little hook onto it, and it ends up sitting at an angle where you can position it. Maybe you have it up against a wall. There's a lot you can do with these as far as zip ties. double stick mounting hooks, anything like that. You don't necessarily have to staple them to the wall. Well, I gotta say, I am super impressed with this product right out of the box. I know this is gonna come in super handy for us with camping, with no electricity, but it'd also be handy here if we lose power. There's been a lot of thunderstorms lately here in the middle of summer, so there's a good chance we will lose power eventually, and then I can just hook this up real quickly in the kitchen, and then we can still see. But the main purpose that we got this was for camping, and it's gonna work perfect for that. I can't wait to try it out. We'll get some videos to you when we do go camping, and you can see the setup that we created. If you want to find out more about this light, and if you want to go ahead and purchase one for yourself, I'll put the link right down below in the description, and just follow that link and it'll bring you right to the page for this light. You can go ahead and order one and get your very own. If you have any questions or comments on it, leave a comment down below here on the video. We love to hear from you guys. If you like this video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. It really helps us out. We really appreciate it. Your support has been great as we grow our channel, and we really like talking with you guys and helping other people out. We just want everybody to be prepared, or wicked prepared. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and do so, and make sure you ring the bell so you can get notifications when each of our new videos comes out. Once again, I'm Rob with Wicked Prepared. Survive today, thrive tomorrow. We'll see ya. And if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. What is happening right now? You better just subscribe. I feel like Porky Pig. You better subscribe to our channel so I don't have to keep saying that word. I've never had that kind of trouble. What is going on right now? If you haven't already subscribed, are you serious right now? If you haven't already subscribed, oh my god. If you already haven't, nobody's watching this, right? Nobody's gonna see this. If you like this video, if you haven't already subscribed, I did it again. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, go ahead and do so, and make sure you ring that bell so you can get notifications on each time a new video comes out. Please subscribe. We're gonna edit that part out, right?